Chance experiments. First, the spinner game activity. This includes example 1 and exercises 1 through 4. This activity is going to be done in class. So we're going to begin with example 2. What is probability? Probability is a measure of how likely it is that an event will happen. It's indicated by a number between 0 and 1. Some events are certain to happen while others are impossible. So in most cases, the probability of an event happening is somewhere between certain and impossible. So this is a probability scale just for us to observe. Probability is going to be a number that is anywhere between or including 0 and 1. 0 being impossible, 1 being certain, like it will happen. And then there's anything in between, so unlikely, likely, and equally likely to occur or not occur, or 1/2. And that's the scale we're going to be using throughout this lesson. So exercise 5. Decide where each event would be located on the scale below. So there's going to be a scale that's located at the end of this exercise. So exercise 5, decide where each event would be located on the scale below. Place the letter for each event on the appropriate place of the probability scale. So this is part A, so we would place A where we think it would belong on the scale. So first, you will see a live dinosaur on the way home from school today. Probability is 0, or impossible, as there are no live dinosaurs. So A would be located where it's impossible, 0. Part B, a solid rock dropped in the water will sink. Probability is 1. It's for certain, as rocks are typically more dense than the water they displace. C, a round disc with one side red and the other side yellow will land yellow side up when flipped. So if you were to flip it like a coin, we're saying it will land on yellow. What's the probability of this? Probability is 1/2, as there are two sides that are equally likely to land up when the disc is flipped. Part D. A spinner with 4 equal parts numbered 1 through 4 will land on the 4 on the next spin. The probability of landing on the 4 would be 1/4. Based on the scale provided, this would indicate the probability being unlikely to occur. Part E. Your full name will be drawn when a full name is selected randomly from a bag containing the full names of all the students in your class. The probability is between impossible and equally likely, assuming there are more than 2 students in the class. If there were 2 students, then the probability would be equally likely. If there was only 1 student in class, then the probability would be certain to occur. If, however, there were 2 or more students, the probability would be between impossible and equally likely to occur. Part F. A red cube will be drawn when a cube is selected from a bag that has 5 blue cubes and 5 red cubes. Probability would be equally likely to occur, as there are an equal number of blue and red cubes. Part G. Tomorrow the temperature outside will be negative 250 degrees. Probability is impossible, or 0, as there are no recorded temperatures at negative 250 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius. So the letters placed on the probability scale would look like so. A and G are impossible. E and D are more towards the unlikely. C and F are the 1/2 or equally likely to occur or not occur. And then B is the certain. So this is where we'd want to place our letters on that probability scale. Exercise 6. Let's design a spinner so that the probability of green is 1. Okay, so the spinner, it must be all green. In order for it to be 1, that means it'll always land on green, for certain. There's no hesitation, it will always land on green. That means the entire spinner must be colored green. Exercise 7. Design a spinner so that the probability of green is 0. Well, the spinner can include any color but green. So that spinner right there, that circle, we'd fill it in with any color but green. Exercise 8. Design a spinner with 2 outcomes in which it is equally likely to land on the red and green parts. Okay, so we want equally likely. The red and green areas should be equal. So we draw our circle. It should be green is half of it, red is the other half. Exercise 9. What do you think it means for an event to have a probability of 1/2? Well, in a long sequence of observations, it would occur about half the time. So for something to have a probability of 1/2, it should occur, that event should occur half of the time. Exercise 10. What do you think it means for an event to have a probability of 1/4? Well, in a long sequence of observations, it would occur about 25% of the time. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for joining me with this. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Thank you.